Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to a video. Today we're going to talk about the new 86 capped icon SBC and whether it is worth it. We opened a bunch of these on the stream and I'll go through with you guys what I managed to pack and what we got in our packs that we opened up. But we're also going to talk about whether luck is on your side, whether the odds are in your side, and whether this SBC is worth it or not. If this video ended up helping you out, then please leave a like on it. It supports me a whole bunch. Hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told any time that we upload a video. But just before we get into it, let's very quickly hear from today's video sponsor. Do you need some more coins for your FIFA Ultimate Team? Then look no further than U7Buy. They're the cheapest and most reliable place to get your FIFA Ultimate Team coins. And if you use code Hursty at checkout, you'll get yourself an extra discount. I want to say a massive thank you to U7Buy for sponsoring us. Don't forget that code Hursty. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so the first icon SBC of FIFA 23 is here, and it's leaving a couple of people a little bit skeptical. I think the first thing to note is obviously the max 86 rating is a bit of a shame, but that is reflected by the price of the SBC. Before the SBC went live, I had a lot of people saying, oh, it's going to be this rating, it's going to be this rating, this many SBCs, this many parts. It was 2 parts, an 86 with an inform, and an 84 rated team. Obviously no chemistry in either of those, because SBCs don't tend to need chemistry too often when they've got a rating like that. That's definitely one perk of FIFA 23, definitely one addition to the new chemistry system. I like it. The skepticism obviously was the max 86. Now, I've had a little look, and we're going to go through your odds of getting something worth more than the SBC itself. And then also the odds of cards that are actually half decent, ones you happily get, ones you don't want to get. So without further ado, let's look at the things you can get and let's have a little look at whether it's worth it or not. That's the main thing. Okay, so here on the screen, you've got a lot of the cards that you don't want to pack. So from Litmanen, Perez, Van Nistelrooy, you've got Costa, you've got Schmeichel, Laudrup, you've got Raul, Vieri, Koeman, Hierro, Veron, Rijkaard, Owen, Trezeguet, Cech, and Roy Keane. They are all less than the price of the SBC itself, because the SBC at the moment is currently coming in at 130,000 coins. Now, one way of thinking about that, 130,000 coins for a guaranteed icon is actually not that bad. That alone, you take that at face value, 130,000 coins for an icon isn't too shabby, but there are 16 options that are cheaper than the SBC. That's one thing immediately worth bearing in mind. But on the flip side, Kluivert obviously is the price of the SBC, and including Kluivert being the price, there are 29 icons that are more or equal to the value of the SBC itself. Now, one thing obviously bear in mind, the card is untradeable. You don't get a tradable version of this card, so you can't be like, oh, I spent 130k, I can sell it and get those coins back. Obviously, that's not how it works, but value for what you put in. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, I didn't spend a thing for it. Obviously, I didn't have to buy any cards for my SBC. I used cards I had in the club. I did some 78 pluses and stuff. Obviously, the value of that fodder was still 130,000 coins, so just bear that in mind. But it didn't cost me anything to complete it coin-wise. I'd have to buy any cards. But I managed to get myself Gattuso. Now, Gattuso is 177,000 coins, and I'm not upset with him. I've actually managed to use him in a couple of games. He's really, really good. I'm really glad I got him in the end. He's one of those cards that has definitely benefited from the new way that gameplay doesn't mean you have to have 90 pace on every player. I'm really enjoying using him. I think he's a good little card. But the question is, what is your chances still? Although 26 or 29, I think it was, compared to 16, 29 that are worth the value of the SBC or more, and only 19 that are less. I opened up 5 of these SBCs, and we got ourselves Gattuso, and then Kluivert was the next best one we had. We got 2 Michael Owens, who are definitely worth less than the value of the SBC. We got ourselves a Koeman, and we got ourselves a Trezeguet. So out of the 5, 1 of them was the value of the SBC, 1 was more, and then 3 were less than the value of the SBC. Now, this all obviously falls into pack weight, falls into pack luck, it falls into all of these sort of things. Like we all know, for example, Vieira is not going to pop up as often as Laudrup is going to, for example. That just is the way FIFA is. That it just doesn't happen like that. It should be that there's an equal chance of all of them, but we know that's not the case half the time, or at least it never seems to be the case, does it? So I would say, in my honest opinion, if you have got the luxury of having some fodder or having the coins to justifiably do this, and you don't need to put those coins towards your team. People were saying to me in the chat, like, my team's not great, but I've got the fodder to do the icon. Should I do it? 130,000 coins. If the fodder's tradable, for example, or if you're going to go and buy those cards, you're going to buy this from scratch, this SBC, you're going to pay for every single card. If your team is not at a point that you're happy at, then it's not worth doing the SBC just yet, in my opinion. Now, obviously, the slight stinker situation here is you don't have the longest time to go and complete this. This SBC is only out for a couple of days. I think it runs out Wednesday, so you don't even have Div Rival rewards to help you out. One thing you could try and do is you could try and get your champs qualifying done nice and quickly if you've got those to do, and try and open up those packs. Maybe that might give you something towards it. Obviously the 78 pluses are out, so that could be a good way for you to grind stuff. If you've got a lot of non-rare golds in your club, that could be a good way of doing it. But the tough thing now, the tough thing to think about if you're not sure about your team is if you wait 48 hours and then you're cutting it fine, it could be prices maybe fluctuate a little bit because there's a bit of panic buying to think, oh, I haven't done that yet, God, let's go and do it quickly. That could happen. The overall consensus, however, was that prices of players didn't go up much because the SBC was a lot cheaper than we all expected. So I would say the main thing to think about with this SBC is, what is your team looking like? Are you happy with your squad? And can you justifiably put that many coins towards possibly an L, towards possibly a stinker? You pack yourself a Schmeichel, for example, or a card that you just aren't going to really want to use. How badly does it affect your account? My account at the time, I had some coins. I've just upgraded my team and I'm really happy with how my squad is looking right now. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Even if I wasn't a content creator, with where my squad and where my club are at, I would have done this Icon SBC today. If my team was a team I wasn't happy with yet, I wouldn't have done it yet. I would have waited. I'd have done the champs qualifiers. I'd have got those packs open, seen maybe what my situation is after that, and then gauge it from there. Overall, I think the SBC itself, you've got, as I said, numbers are on your side. There are 13 extra good cards compared to the bad cards. But bearing that in mind, we all know that pack weight doesn't necessarily work like that. So that's one thing to think about. For me personally, I think the value of the SBC is really fair. I genuinely think it's a really good value of the SBC. And I think if you can justify it, it's worth doing, personally. But that is going to be where I end today's video. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, then do let me know by leaving a like on the video. Supports me, the video, and the channel out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch us on our live streams, it's Hursty Games over on Twitch and on TikTok. I live stream on both, and links to both are down below, along with our channel sponsors. Again, massive thank you for supporting the channel. But that is it for me. Thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands.
His name is Hursty. Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, we'll say hello. Entertain, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Hursty Games, yeah, you already know.